realized over the past couple of days, he actually brought it out, and with the people that I spoke with and the resources that was provided, and it gave me a different outlook about some changes that have to take effect, or changes that are going to take effect. And it kind of changed the idea of what I thought of it from something that I have to do into something that I get to do. I get the opportunity to do this, and I saw where it was necessary. And even though sometimes we push back on change, if God says that it's necessary, we just have to go through with it. And what he also reflected to me on this is there's no time on it. I'm just showing you that it has to happen. It could happen in 3 weeks, it could happen in 3 months, but it has to happen. So I have less anxiety because I've accepted. We have to accept change, because to me, change correlates directly with growth. And when you stop growing and stop changing, you start dying. That goes with anything, with people, with plants, with animals. When there is no more change, the other side of that is just death. So I noticed also another thing that he brought to me is that we have to be more solution based. When you present a problem and you are just complaining, then you're not solution based. And if you're not a part of the solution, then that means that you're a problem. So we have to live our lives according to how we would live in the workplace. When you present a problem, you need to come with some solutions. And once we get those solutions or get those ideas, now we can reverse engineer that, and develop a plan in order to make that change possible, in order to get to that solution, as opposed to us just sitting in it. Because like one of the conversations that I had was where we discussed things that are happening in 2024 were also happening like back in 2009. That's a problem. That's a major problem. It's either people are putting a band-aid over it, and now it's still rearing its ugly head. Like they pass over it for a minute, they do a few little small things, but until you accept change and actually come up with a solution to change the course of it, to change the behavior of it, it's going to always be there. And now it looks like we're all just complaining. We have to be solution based and see how we can get through that process. There's going to be some change, and change is okay. We have to accept change. And one of the stories in the Bible that I always think about is Paul. When he was Saul, he was persecuting Christians. But once he had that encounter with Christ and he became Paul, he became one of the most dedicated apostles of Christ during that time. That change was necessary. A lot of people on the outside probably looking at it like, oh, he's still the same person. No, he's not. The renewing of the spirit and the renewing of the mind that God gives us allows us to go through and process a change and transform. So we also have to think about that in other circumstances. Sometimes things have to change. And instead of me looking at it as I don't want to, and trying to be against it, I just have to accept it in this moment because it's necessary. But then it's like, well, how do I make this comfortable for me? What do I need to do? What things need to be in place in order for me to be okay with this? And those conversations that I had gave me some ideas and put in resources and all of those things that I was like, wow, I didn't think about that. And that's because in the stillness of me killing my flesh, turning down my plate, allowed me to hear his voice better. And he pinpointed and put the right people in the right place to say the right things for me to see it from a different perspective. I know this video was all over the place, but I kind of just wanted to emphasize on what I've been going through, what I've been processing, because like I said, based off of what occurred earlier in the week, there's a big change that's going to come up ahead. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to happen in 3 weeks or 3 months, but I know that it's coming. And it took away the anxiety and the fear by showing it to me through a different lens, and me understanding it from a different perspective, and me actually opening up, because a lot of times I make excuses for why I don't talk to people, or I don't vent about certain things because I feel like, oh, they too busy, or they got this going on, they don't have time for me. You don't know that. You do not know that, and we have to stop assuming, because I've been feeling like I had to carry this all on my own, but he showed me where there are going to be other people that's going to help me in this process, and gave me some other things to look at. And I was like, and the light bulb just went off. So yeah, I'm processing change a little different. It's like I'm always preaching to others about change, but when it comes to me, I have a little bit of a harder time to accept it and move through with it. But the way he presented it to me now, it's okay, and I'm okay with it. And I've changed my verbiage from what I have to do to what I get to do, and I'm grateful and I'm thankful for that. Talk to y'all later. Good morning, good people. Well, I'm feeling a little bit better today. It's been a trying weekend. I have been sick all weekend. I started noticing a change in my voice. Well, no, I started coughing a little bit more. I started sneezing on Wednesday, and then I started noticing a change in my voice on Thursday. And Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I have been in the bed with chills, body aches, and just not really, and just completely exhausted. I did notice, because I ended a 25-day fast last Monday, and over the course of that time, I noticed like every day I would cough like once. I don't know, it'll be while I'll be talking, or I could just be sitting and get hot. I don't know, I just cough. And I noticed on Wednesday when I was headed back from Mississippi that I started coughing a little bit more. And then by Thursday, I noticed my voice was changing. But I still wasn't I didn't feel like I was stuffy. I just noticed my voice was changing and my throat was hurting. So Friday when I woke up, completely congested at that point, and the coughing spells were getting just even worse. And like I said, I felt really weak. Like I woke up that morning because I worked from home, and I had a meeting and I sent an email. By 10 o'clock, I was back asleep on the couch, and I woke up at like 12. So I had to jump up and go and run some errands or whatever. And then I came back and I just was tired. I just was exhausted all weekend. And I was blowing my nose and stuff, and it seemed like, was it Friday or Saturday, one of them, I was noticing that I'm blowing, but I can't breathe out of either side of my nose. And so when I would lay down or whatever, when I would go get in the bed, I made sure to elevate my head, because I typically like to sleep pretty flat. But because I was so congested, I said I'll put another pillow up under me and sleep that way. Well, when I would wake up and I'll go to sleep and both sides would be blocked. I couldn't breathe out of each side of my nose, and I've been to blow my nose, nothing else was coming out. But then when I wake up in the morning, I can breathe better. And I say all this to say, because something came to me yesterday and came to me last night, that this sickness is me purging. You're purging out the old to prepare for the new. And like I said, at the end of the fast, I got a lot of confirmation that a lot of change is about to take place. And I had changed my perspective from it being things that I have to do to things that I get to do. And when I heard that message that this is a purging time, it made so much sense, because I've been filled with so much mucus and I have to get it out. And I just was dog tired this weekend. Not only did my body rest, but my mind kind of rested, because I really wasn't thinking about anything but why am I sick, and I need to get over this by Monday morning, because I was scared I wasn't have the energy to come to work this morning. Because yesterday I slept until noon. Like I slept like 10 hours Saturday night. And so either way, I said like I slept really well. But another thing, so this morning I was listening to a sermon, and it stated that, what is it? I really want to remember it. God gives, what is it? God performs his best surgeries and gives the biggest gifts when we give over to him, or basically, or when we rest in him. Rest in him, that's what it was. God gives his biggest surgeries, performs his biggest surgeries and that yield in his biggest blessings when we rest in him. And that really further confirmed that I'm in a purging season, and my body is trying to get rid of the old and prepare for the new. So even though I haven't had that much energy, I allow myself to rest. I allow my body to rest. I allow my mind to rest. And now I feel a little bit different. I'm not 100% today, but I have energy. I was woke at 5:01 this morning. So sometimes we should take inventory of what's going on with our bodies and how our bodies is responding. And everything is not where it's sickness that's been passed on. Sometimes it's necessary for us to purge. And even on Friday, my stomach was messed up. And yeah, so I did a lot of purging this weekend. And I think it's because I allowed myself to rest. So now I'm ready for whatever is up ahead. So I hope this story meant something to somebody. You want to talk about it? Mention it in the comments. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting when the message came to me yesterday. You're purging out with the old and in with the new. So yeah, have a blessed day.